Our sellers and borrowers are cognizant of the fact that when they are selling the property or they are refinancing, they're usually going to pay off their existing loans at closing. It shouldn't be a surprise to find out that the correct payoff information needs to be provided early on. This escrow tip is about what happens when not providing the right information to the right person at the right time. When you do a refinance transaction, one of the first things that you provide to your new loan agent will be the information on your payoff, as they will need to check the balance and do the verifications. But is this information passed on to the escrow officer who will handle the actual payoff for you? Sometimes not. Because one, you may not have been advised as to who would be handling the escrow, or two, you may assume that the loan agent gave the information to them. When you sell your property, you will be asked by the escrow officer at the opening to provide the information. Do not delay. Every event of the transaction has its spot on the timeline. One delay here could cause other delays further down the line. So you provide the information to your escrow officer in a timely manner, but providing the right information, the right lender, the right loan number is also of utmost importance. As we struggle through the pandemic, did you get a Paycheck Protection Plan PPP loan or an SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan, an EIDL? These loans also have to be cleared up. As the owner-seller, you are going to need to work on getting the forgiveness of the PPP loan. And in the case of an EIDL loan, you're going to need to provide your escrow officer with the information to start working on getting a payoff statement from the SBA. It could take time, and time is of the essence. Did your loan get sold to another servicing agent? This is a common occurrence as real estate loans are packaged and sold in bulk to investors. Servicers of the loans may change many times through the life of the loan, and the moment you get a letter that you will start making payments to another servicer, you must let your escrow officer know immediately. The old payoff statement that we have in the file will no longer be valid, and a new one has to be requested from the new servicer. In a 30-day transaction, payoff statements are usually ordered after the contingencies are removed and about 2 weeks before the closing, so that the figures are most up to date. If the escrow has all the correct information, it could take just a couple of hours to get a statement, or it may take days, depending on the lender. Some lenders allow us to order over the phone. Others require the client's handwritten authorization and faxed in with our formal request. When their requirements are not met, our request is denied. And if the information provided is not correct, it could take time for us to find out and rectify this mistake. So 2 weeks before the closing does not allow a lot of time for mistakes. Here's a couple of examples of some setbacks. A statement came in after a few days, but it belonged to the client's loan on another property. We had to contact the client again, and he had to look for the correct information. Or the time a request was faxed in, and after repeated calls over the days to trace our request, we found out that it was faxed to the wrong department because this servicer had several lenders that they were servicing, each through different departments. Cases of the loan being sold during transaction is always troublesome, particularly if the client failed to let us know. The old lender will refuse to take the funds for a loan they no longer own, and the new lender might not give immediate confirmation of the amounts owed if it was a relatively new transfer. In one particular case, which I have talked about in other video sessions, the escrow had already closed when we found out. The client not only could not get his net proceeds, he also had to pay additional daily interest on his loan because neither lender was willing to accept the funds until it was all sorted out between them internally. And when it comes down to reverse mortgages, the earlier we get the information, the better, because it can take several weeks to get a statement of this type of a mortgage. Time is of the essence, and it is not your friend in this case. You do not want to request an extension to your loan lock or an extension to your escrow because of delays caused by not giving vital information when needed. My escrow tip: be ready to provide your escrow officer with the right information on all the loans that you need to pay off when you open escrow. Whether it is your first loan, your second equity line, a private loan, the PPP, or the EIDL loan, have the information ready. Mortgage statements, communications with a named loan officer, the name, phone number, and address of the private lender, all these should be provided at the opening to your escrow officer. Do not assume that providing it to your loan officer or your real estate agent will relieve you of further responsibilities. Too often we hear the clients say, "But I provided this to our loan officer months ago." Remember, right information, right person, right time. This is Juliana too, and thank you for watching and for subscribing to my Think Escrow YouTube